Hello and welcome to the Secret of Change vlog. This is Chris once again. I'm now down in the USA. We've been here for a few days now. I'm a little bit behind on doing my vlog for Vancouver, so here it is. As you can tell, we're now on a farm. We've come well and truly out of the city, but the few days we spent in Vancouver before we left were wonderful. Thanks to Ross Moster for hosting us and his wonderful wife Laura Lee. We had a really great time, and I'm just going to have to compete with that cockerel, I do apologise. Yeah, it was really impressive. What I think I was most impressed about Vancouver was the scale of it. It's big. There are 3,000 members on the website of the Transition Initiative there, and by no means all of them engage with the initiative. There's about 500 that kind of regularly are involved with things, and then you've got about 200 which is the core team and attend a lot of events and things like that. So really impressed to see just how big it is. Also, I think the range of issues that are being covered there. I don't know if you will know about this, but in Vancouver, homelessness and social deprivation is a big issue. There is a lot of people on the streets, there is a lot of hard drug use and sort of petty crime that comes off the back of that. Not something that we particularly had expected from Vancouver, I must admit. And in many parts of the city it is very sleek, very modern, full of, you know, businessmen or kind of tourists. No, the certain parts of it, downtown east side, really struggling, and it's great to see that one of the things Village Vancouver Transition Initiative is dealing with is those kind of issues. It's working with the neighbourhood houses and trying to reintegrate people back into society, provide them with support, education, help, and also education with regard to things like food growing and things like that, which makes a big difference linking up to their community gardens. So there are initiatives that are looking at community, food, social deprivation, energy. There's a nice mix there. One of the things we went to a lot of was seed libraries, really encouraging people to grow local, which is always nice to see. And not just, I don't think we were just impressed by the amount of the variation of topics that were being covered, or issues that were being addressed, I should say, but also the diversity of the people within it. There was all ages, different nationalities, different cultural backgrounds and beliefs, which is really nice to see. And also really nice to see the kind of, the mix of people's reasons for joining transition. You know, there may be, some people may still have this impression, if they do have an impression, that transition is a bunch of kind of middle-class white hippies that are really, you know, just on a bit of a mad one. That may have been the case in the very early stages, if at all, but do you know what? It just isn't the case now. These are people, very ordinary people doing extraordinary things, and they're doing it for a multitude of different reasons, and it's really great to see that. I'm trying to think, what else did we kind of really gather from this this week, or last week I should say, was that also a lot of people we spoke to identified with Village, as in Village Vancouver, which is the name of their initiative, and had been part of it for a long time, had been practicing permaculture perhaps, or working really hard to reduce their carbon footprint, or increasing community cohesion. But when I asked them about transition, like the transition movement, they're like, well, I don't really know what that is. And they said, but I love what Village is doing. I said, well, you know, Village is a transition initiative. They kind of embody a lot of the values that transition instills through the model. And they're like, oh, right, yeah, okay. So I explained it to them, and they thought that was fantastic. They really enjoyed that. And what I love about that is that, I've said it before and I'll say it again, you know, transition isn't prescriptive, and you don't even need that label. If some people aren't even aware that they're practicing it, and that's fine. Some initiatives that are linked to Village are not necessarily transition initiatives, and that's fine, because what they're doing is very much in line with that kind of ethos of moving towards environmental and social sustainability, and that is the main thing behind it. So yeah, I think on the whole, those are my kind of key takeaways from Vancouver. As I said, we are now in the USA. This is our 5th day here, I believe, or we arrived on Monday. It's now Friday. So, and we are in a very rural environment. We're currently speaking to people from Chuckanut Transition in the Sedro-Woolley area, which is a little bit outside Seattle in Washington State. It's beautiful here, glorious weather, very, very hot at the moment. I think it almost touched 40 degrees yesterday. I'm surrounded by turkeys, which are very strange but wonderful creatures, and we have just bought a car, the Secret of Change wagon, which will be taking us all the way down to San Diego. So we're really excited because now we're going to be hitting a lot more initiatives. We're going to have it's going to be a lot easier for us to do, and it's something that I would also like to mention, which is that in this country, public transport is not great. We got the train down here and that was about it. And now we looked at potentially doing that, you know, kind of going the green route. Really hard here. So transportation is something that we really want to speak to people within transition about and think, you know, what solutions are there. I think that's it from me for now. It's been great being able to speak to you at last. It's been a very busy week, which is why it's been so late. I hope you're still enjoying all the vlogs. Keep following us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, you name it. Subscribe below and I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Bye bye.